Hey crew, welcome back for one more video in this series. This time we're going to deal with circle patterns. And nothing real complicated here. References for the paths we want to follow. We can reference the center point, either the arc or a point of a pattern, or the circle or center point of a pattern to define what we're going around. Patterns can be adjusted by angle or direction. There's flip-flop arrows for which way we send the patterns. You can decide what angles we want. And then the other big keynote is that pattern geometry cannot be trimmed or essentially edited after you've patterned it. So anything that's part of the pattern, once that pattern is made, it is locked down. So if you needed to make half a circle, you should have trimmed it before you patterned it, and then you could have patterned that half a circle around the outside. After we do pattern, the pattern can affect other geometry to get trimmed still. Okay, so if this circle was complete, and these lines are part of the pattern, I can still trim this out. So let me run through those really quick. All right. So the two most common scenarios we're going to get in patterns is that either the pattern is part of something you're drawing, so we have a very obvious reference, or sometimes we have to put in a construction circle or arc to show where we want the pattern. Okay, so first one here, got a circle, and let's say we kind of are doing this. I'm going to put some smaller circles on there. Maybe I want like a little bump around all the way around and get that kind of shaped up the way I like it. I'm presuming I need it straight up at 0 degrees. If I need it at a different angle, I would put a line in and constrain all that like so. But then I go up there and get the circle pattern tool. I pick what I want to pattern. That's the geometry, so what I want to pattern. Then I click this orange arrow here to say where I'm going around, so either the circle or the point. And they don't have to be touching this circle. I could have drawn outside or inside and still use this circle. It's mostly really coming down to, when I say I can click on this circle, it really means I'm referencing the point that the pattern's going around. And if I like everything I'm seeing there, maybe I want, can I fit 8? Yeah, sure, we can fit 8. Kind of got a flower going on. And there we go. So that's a real simple version of how you pattern. Trim. See, I can't trim anything on the pattern, but I can trim the circle because it's technically not part of the pattern. And there we go. And I could draw. Well, now I see a flower in my head, so, oh, there we go. Finish it off. There's a flower. As I was saying, though, sometimes our circle patterns are not part of the actual shape. Maybe I just need a series of holes that are on this square plate. So again, I'll just put a hole in here. 0.75 perhaps is what I needed. And it's a bolt pattern for something that bolts together. Circle pattern again. There we go. Pick my geometry. Orange to pick what the axis is, either the circle or the point. There they all are. Decide how many I need, and go ahead and click OK. No, but yeah, OK. No. And there we are. Again, I can't change the diameter. See, it's locked down because the first circle that was patterned is what's controlling that size. So if I need to change the size of them all, I go back to the first one. Which there it got pushed way over here. There we go. 1.2. There. That's how you change them all at once. If I needed to undo a pattern, you can always right click and delete pattern. Oh, sorry, right there it was. Delete pattern or edit pattern, or simply undo and start over and try again. A bunch of options there. You can also, for example, if you get into a problem where one of your patterns is in the way, you can always right click and suppress that one pattern so it's not bothering you. And then we can even talk about that a lot of times we do patterns on 3D models, not always in sketching. So that's all good when you have to do patterns that go around full circles. But what about patterns that happen along an arc? Well, it's still a circle pattern tool. So anytime we say that, we're still going to say, hey, we're doing a circle pattern. We're just going to limit how much of the circle we're using. So here's an example where I already did the layout work showing the need 117 degrees of a pattern of a certain object. And I'm just going to use a hexagon here. And if I need that to be real specific, I'm going to make sure I center my object right on that point, essentially coincident. And then I'll go up to the circle pattern. And there might be a few other specs in here, sorry, size of something, but the basic idea here. Circle pattern. What's my geometry? I'll put a box around that hexagon. Remember that side. This kind of box only picks what's inside of it. This kind of box picks everything, and we don't want that. So we just want to pick the hexagon one more time now. And let's just start over there. Everything was being selected. So just, there we go. Just the hexagon is selected. Rotational axis, either the arc or the point. It doesn't matter. And see right away it defaults to circle. It's going all the way around. But we're going to control it to match that 117 that I drew out. And it just goes to show that really didn't even need to draw the 117. I just put it on there for my own visual benefit to make sure I'm doing what I think it's supposed to. We can use flip-flop arrows. There we go. And you can see the center of the hexagon here lands on the center point up there. Looks great. And I can even change my mind. You know what? Maybe I need 8 don't fit. Maybe 7 just fits. There it is. And I'm sure it's some specified number. But the flip-flop arrows come in handy for that. How many you need, click OK. And that's a pattern along an arc, essentially. It doesn't have to be on the arc. That was a coincidence. I mean, I could have made the pattern outside the arc. I could have made the pattern inside the arc. The degrees are what matter the most. And really that you have your center point that you're after. Okay, then one other thing is just that you can do a bunch of geometry at once. If I do the circle pattern, I can pick this half a circle, all these line segments. I can go over here to my axis, either pick the circle itself or the center point. Looks good, click OK, and then I can go through then and trim out what I didn't need, and so on and so on. So it doesn't always have to just be a single shape. You could pattern a complex area. That way you can spend all your time on one area, and when you get it all really detailed in, then you pattern that complex area around the circle to other spots, and use your time efficiently that way. So hopefully that helps. You'll be able to apply what you've seen here into some of your parts and sketches, and good luck. See you in the next video.